This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, good morning, students. Okay, hope all are doing good. So, shall we start? Okay, we will start. So today I'm going to tell you one application. Okay, one website. How to create a website? I am going to teach you how to create a website and how it will be working. So this will be your last class, isn't it? Yeah, this will be your last class, and I'm going to explain that everything. So before that, you need to know some things. So what is the framework we'll be using in the Python? That is Django framework. That is Django. What is Django actually? Don't worry, I'll be teaching that. So this is the Django. Okay, Django is nothing but Django makes it easier to build better web applications more quickly with less code. So more quickly. So using this, we'll be using this Django framework with less code. So now see this, Django makes it easier to build better web applications more quickly and with less code. That is the advantage. So what is Django actually? What is Django? Django is nothing but Django is a web framework. Django is a web framework. Django is a web framework just like a .NET framework. .NET, isn't it? We know .NET framework, but Django will be used only for Python. For Python, okay. So Django is a web framework that will be used for only Python. So if you want to see the definition of the Django, so I'm going to show you that. Okay, so this is the Django definition. With the Django, you can take web application from concern to launch in a matter of hours. In a matter of hours, you can prepare a one web application. That much easy. That much easy. It is fully loaded, reusingly secured, exceedingly scalable. These are all the features of the Django. These are all the features of the Django. Okay, so it's a framework, web framework, just like .NET framework. I think you are aware of the .NET framework, isn't it? So if you want to see the definition in the Google, you can search here, Django. What is Django? What is Django? So you can see the definition. Django is a Django based free and open source web framework that follows a model template view. Okay, this is the definition for Django. It's a framework. It's a framework just like a .NET. .NET will be using framework, isn't it? So like this, it will be framework. So what we can do with this? What we can do with this? What we can do is Django makes it easier to build web applications more quickly and with less code. Less code we'll be using with the less code we'll be using this. So yesterday I have sent you COVID-19. So what are those? What is that? Okay, that is a package. That is a package. So we can create a packages. Okay, so whole project we can create like a packages. I'm reviewing this thing. Okay, entire project is is can be created. Okay, using packages. It can be packages in the form of packages. Packages will be having. So I'm going to just remind you that packages will be containing what it will contain? Sub package. We have seen that. Sub packages. Sub packages. In the sub packages, what will be contained? Modules. In the each and every sub packages, it contains a modules. What are modules? I think you are aware of now. Okay. .py extension. Whatever we see the .py extension, it will be called as a module. In the modules, we can see the functions. N number of functions. It can be n number of functions. Okay, not only one. It contains lot of functions. Okay. So packages can be two different types. Packages can be two different types. So what are those? User defined packages. User defined packages are projects what we create. By the developer. User defined package. Okay. So one is standard library package. Standard library packages. So that is example we have seen, isn't it? Math is a standard library package, and we got lot of packages. Okay, so math is a standard library package module or package. And one more thing, COVID. Yesterday we have seen, isn't it? COVID-19 India. So we have seen that, isn't it? So where do we find these packages? I am going to show you the packages where we will be finding these packages. So you need to remember all these things. The entire project, it will be divided into this kind of things. It can be module or packages. It can be module. Module is a .py extension. What we'll be calling the program, Python program .py extension. It is a module. Okay. And the packages, it contains a packages and packages. At least one function must contain in a module. At least one module contain in a sub package, and at least one sub package must contain in the package. That is the scenario. Okay. So these are all the things. So packages are two different types. We'll be having two different types. That is user defined package or user defined package. Packages are two different types. User defined packages, that is projects what we create. Projects will be creating in the form of packages, and we can directly import that package. How we will be importing? Pip install at the interpreter. We will be doing like this. Pip install, small letters I will be doing with the small letters. Pip install that package name. For example, math or COVID-19, whatever package we have seen, isn't it? So what is the pip install? Pip install means packages in Python. Pip means PIP. PIP stands for okay, packages in Python. So if we install like this, so at the interpreter we will be doing like this. Pip install that package name. Whatever package we need, that package name. So this package name, for example, Django is a package framework. It's a okay web framework for Python. So we will be installing like this package. We will be installing like this. Where do we install this package? So see here, example, pip install Django. This is the command. Pip install Django is the framework. If I install in my system, it will be permanently stored. So there will be two different types. If I do like this, so just I'm copying and pasting this, pip install Django. So D is silent. We need to spell it as Django, but most of the people in India, they'll be calling it as a Django, but it is wrong. Okay, D must be silent. D is silent here. Django, we will be calling it as a Django. So Django is not the correct pronunciation. Okay, you need to remember this. Okay, now you know, you need to remember this forever. Okay, so if I click on this, so what will be the use of this? What is the difference between import and I'm going to explain you what is the difference between import and installation. Install that is pip install at the interpreter pip install that particular package. Okay, so like this, here pip install the Django, the version. Okay, so pip install Django. What is the difference? Difference between import, we are importing import that package, for example math or Django math package, or and difference between pip install Django. Here Django version is, what is the version? 3.0.7 is the latest version. This is the latest version. Okay, so this is the version 3.7.0, 3.0.7, sorry. Okay, so what is the difference? Anybody? So what is the difference? Import math, import Django or math? Okay, anybody? Yeah, import. Okay, right. I will explain. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. I will be explaining. So you need to know this. Okay, right. Okay, so we'll be installing okay, softwares in our system, right? We'll be installing softwares in our system. So what they will do, the softwares will be permanently installed in our system, isn't it? Right? Okay, that will be permanent until and unless we uninstall it. Until and unless we uninstall it by ourselves. So that is how it will be working. Install. Okay, pip install. That will be like this. At the interpreter, Python interpreter, pip install. So whatever package may be the thing, whatever package may be the Django, pip install Django, for example. Okay, 3.0.7. So now I can use it for forever. So I can use it forever. Why? It is permanently installed. Permanently installed in my system. In my system or laptop or PC or laptop whatever may be the device. Okay, so permanently it will be installed in my system. I can use anywhere. If I switch off my laptop and again if I switch in I mean if I again if I on my system, on my laptop, it will be in my laptop. The software will be in my laptop. So that is the thing. Installation is permanently stored in a system, laptop, in my laptop. Okay, permanently. So what about the import? Now you can say that. Now you got a clue. What about the import? Import some package. So for example, Django. Import Django. What will happen now? So I'm asking you. You need to understand this. So I'm asking you to better understanding. What it will do? Import Django. So it will be placed in 1 GB of dynamic memory. We discussed, isn't it? So automatically whenever Python interpreter starts, 1 GB of dynamic memory will be allocated. In that, whatever we import, that will be going into the, here math will be going into the, stored into the 1 GB of memory. 1 GB of memory. If all packages filled, if 1 GB of memory, 1 GB of memory is filled with the 1 GB of memory is filled with the packages and modules, all the modules, what will happen? It will borrow extra memory from the hard disk. Okay, it will borrow extra memory from the hard disk. No need to worry, but minimum it will be 1 GB of memory. It is just like balloon. Okay, if we just blow the air inside the balloon, it will be expanding. So how many packages and how many things we will be importing in our project, that will be expanding. If 1 GB of memory is filled, it will be borrowed from the hard disk and it will be filled. No problem. How many packages you want, you can fill like this. Okay, I will show you example program. I will show you. Okay, so like this, how we will be importing, I will show you how the project works. Okay, where it is, machine learning, I have saved somewhere. 1 minute, I will show you. Yesterday I have seen that to show you. Yesterday I have saved somewhere. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. I will show you. Okay, leave it. Leave it. I will be showing the direct project. I will be showing that. Okay. So like this, the difference I think you are aware of now. I think you know the difference now. Yeah, this is the difference between the installation and import. Okay, so this is the installation and import. We'll be doing that. So now I am going to install. No, so I'm going to install the Python packages. See here, pip means packages in Python. I am installing Django. So it's a framework. If I install it in my system, it will be permanently installed in my system. So I can use any time. It will be like software. I can use it anytime. Whenever I log in, no need to do that. But if I import, whenever I switch off the system, what will happen? Whenever I restart or switch off the laptop, it will be gone. It will be gone. It will be temporary. It will be temporarily stored in that particular memory, 1 GB of memory, dynamic memory. It will be temporarily imported, that package, and we can use it temporarily. When I switch off the system, it will be gone forever. And next time I need to import it again. I need to import it again. So this is the thing. Now I'm going to, this package is already, this package is installed. Now I can use this package. See here, 3.7 32-bit library. In the library site packages, it is installed. See here, previously it was Django 2.25 version. Okay, Django, I'm having 2.2.5 version. It is uninstalled and now it is installing. The new version is installed. Successfully uninstalled Django. Previous version it was uninstalled. Now the new Django version is installed. You can see here. Okay, now I'm going to show you one thing. So Django, in Django, it will be MVT, Django MVT. We will be calling it as a MVT. Okay, that is model view template. We'll be calling it as a model view template in Django. Okay, this is one pattern. It is a pattern. You need to know this. Okay, so it is a Django framework. It is a Django framework. We need to remember this thing. So for every website, we'll be having three things. What are those three things? For every web application, we'll be having three parts. What are those? Three parts. Anybody? What are those? Front end. Okay. Business logic and back end. Okay. What is front end, business logic and back end? We'll be having three parts. Front end Front end means HTML files. HTML files, whatever we are seeing, this is a HTML file, isn't it? This is a HTML file. Okay, this is the HTML file. For example, facebook.com. This is the front end HTML file. This is the HTML file. Okay, that is called a front end. This is called front end HTML files. Okay, business logic. Business logic means the coding part, logical coding part, logic. So coding part, it is the coding part. And backend. Backend means database. Okay. So permanently stored wherever, whatever will be passing will be permanently stored in this. Okay. So I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you what is front end, business logic, and back end, the difference between the web application. So we will be having three different things. Okay. So this is the front end part, HTML part, HTML front end part, and business logic. Business logic will be the whatever will be coding part, and the backend is nothing but a database. It will be stored permanently in the database. Okay, in the database, permanently stored. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? You can ask me any doubts. If you are having any doubts, you can ask me. Are you able to follow? Okay, good. Right. Yeah. So front end will be HTML part. Okay. So I'm going to explain this. So in this, so I want to create an account in the Facebook. I want to create an account in the Facebook. What I am supposed to do? I need to fill all these things, isn't it? I will be filling all these things, all these columns I need to fill, isn't it? I need to fill all these things. And if I click on sign up, what it will happen? What it will do? So in Facebook, I want to create. Okay, I'll be filling all the things. I will be clicking on sign up. What will happen? I will be filling all the things. Then what will happen? What will happen? Anybody? A new Facebook account will be created. How can you say it is created? Proof, I mean, can you prove that? How? Anybody? Right. I will explain. Okay. So, what is this page? What is this page in the browser? First one is front end. Front end. Front end. Facebook HTML front end. Facebook page. That is HTML page. Home.html. HTML page, isn't it? Right. Front end Facebook page, and in what will be the middle? What it will be the middle? Business logic. Business logic, that is coding. Coding for the Facebook, and this is backend. Backend is database. Okay. Now see clearly. Through front end, I have okay. Now what will happen? Through front end, that is Facebook page, HTML page. I entered all the required fields, isn't it? Are you getting me? Required fields, and where it will go? It will enter into the coding part, and it will store, and it will be stored in a backend, that is database, where permanently it will be stored. Are you getting me, everybody? Are you getting me? So whatever details, required details, we have entered from the front end, that is sign up page. This is the sign up. Create a new account, isn't it? Create a new account. This is the sign up page. Okay. So whatever details we have entered, that will be entered to the front end page, HTML page. Through this page it will be entered. Okay. And with using the business logic, using the coding business logic, and it will be entered into the, it will be stored, permanently stored, and it will be permanently stored in the database. So your account is successfully created. You will get a message, your account is successfully created. You will receive a message. What you will receive? You will receive message. Your account is successfully created. Your account is successfully created. Your account is successfully created. That means the data which we entered to fill, which we entered is successfully successfully stored permanently in the database. So now can I log in? Now can I log in with a new account? Can I log in with my new account? Now can I log in with my new account? Sure, I can log in. Isn't it? I can log in directly. I can use my account details. I can log in here. Just if I click on this, it will be login. It will be logged into my account. It will be logged. So we can see like this. It will be logged into my account. So you can see like this account. It will be logged in. So this is how it will be done. Okay. So this is how it will be done. You can see the login account like this. So I'm closing this. I hope you understood this, isn't it? Now I can log in with my account details. Account details, username and password, right? So in the business logic, what will happen? In the business logic, in the middle, business logic, what it will do? What it will do? It will compare username and password. It must match. It must match. If it doesn't match, it must match. Then only it will log in into your account. Log in into your account, isn't it? Then only it will be login into your account. Okay. If you match, if it is matching, then only it will be logging into your other. Otherwise, else part it will be showing that it will be showing print. What it will show? Invalid. Invalid credentials. It will show like this. Okay. So please enter your correct username and password. Otherwise, we can print like this. Print. We can use. Please enter your username and password correctly. We can enter. We can put like this, isn't it? In the else part, it will check the if username in the database. It will check the username and password if it is entered correctly. Otherwise it will be coming into the else part. In the else part, invalid credentials, it will show. Please enter your username and password correctly. It will be showing us. Okay. So I hope you understood. Are you getting me? This is business logic. The coding will be business logic. It will be coding part, business logic. Okay. And it will check the username and password. In the database, entire database, it will check. Because we have already sign up. Okay. All the details we entered and created new account, new Facebook account, right? Are you getting me? We created a new account and we created a Facebook account. There it will check your username and password. If username and password is matching in the database, username and password is matching, then your account will be opened. Your account will be opened. Otherwise what will happen? It will ask for the new login ID and password. It will show invalid username and password. Please enter valid username and password. Any doubts? Is it clear, everybody? Can I proceed? So model is the front end. In this diagram, model is backend. Model is backend. That is database. Permanent storage model. Okay. Template is front end. HTML pages. And in the views is the coding part. That is business logic. Are you getting me? This is Django framework. Wherever you will be seeing this thing, this is the server. Wherever you see this symbol, three things. Okay, that is Django server. This is a user, front end user. Okay, user is we are using this. Isn't it? Is we are the user. If I click on Facebook, I am the user. Isn't it? This is the user. Okay, so this is the user. So I'm closing this account. This is the user, front end. Okay, this is the front end. This is the user who will be creating this account and we will be logging into this account. So this is all about the thing, Django. So you can see here, view is the business logic code. We will be writing the code in the form of the functions, isn't it? We have discussed this. All the things. And templates will be the front end HTML files. Front end will be the templates HTML files. And model is the database. Database tables we will be having in the database. So model is the back end. Template is the front end, view is the coding part, business logic. Okay, you can see here through URLs. This is the URL, isn't it? If I click on this, this is the URL. This is called as the URL. Facebook.com is the URL. So whatever URL will be passing, whatever URL will be passing, that will be entered into the business logic, and from the business logic it will be entered into the, depending upon the requirement, back end or front end. Business, from the business logic, wherever you want it will move, front end or back end. Are you getting me? So in the views we will be writing code in the form of functions. In the form of functions we will be writing the code in the form of functions. Are you getting me? In the views.py we'll be having views.py module. Okay, that will be views.py module. Views.py module will be forming in the, it will be having code in the form of functions. It is a module. Okay, I will show you in the example. Okay, so I will be showing you this thing in an example. Don't worry, one project I am going to show you. So it is successfully installed. Django, you can see here, framework, it is permanently installed in my system. I can use it anywhere I want. Django. So I'm going to show you one project. So PyCharm, I'm going to open it in the PyCharm. PyCharm is an IDLE. See here, PyCharm, IDLE community version. It is a IDLE. Similarly, like IDLE, which is in the Python, it will be one type of IDLE, PyCharm. Okay. So it is opening in the PyCharm. It is opening in the PyCharm. PyCharm is an IDLE, one type of IDLE. Okay, free. So in this you can see here, this is the template part. HTML pages you can see here, index.html, edit.html, base.html, that is front end part. That will be the front end part. This is HTML point. This is the HTML. It can be opened in browser, isn't it? Instagram, for example, Instagram, it's an HTML front end. This is an front end. Okay, Facebook, all these things, Twitter, these are all the front end. Google, this will be working in the browser, Google browser, isn't it? It is in the browser. So this is front end part. You can see the HTML files. It will be in the templates we have seen here. This is an app. These are all the HTML files we can see here. So in this diagram you can see here templates. Templates are the front end part. Template is the, this is the template, isn't it? Template, it is the HTML. It contains the HTML part. The view is the coding part. I will show you that in this project. I'll be showing you that use. This is the HTML part. This is an app. These are all the front end. Okay. These are all the HTML front end part. And coding part we can see here, views.py. So views.py, this is the coding part. See here. You can see here from Django shortcut. Django is the package and this is the sub package. Are you getting me? From Yeah. So we have learned all these things, isn't it? From Django is the package and shortcuts is the sub package. We are importing, we are importing render comma redirect from the Django shortcuts. Okay. So render comma redirect we are importing. So from models, okay, we are importing only member we are importing. This is the main coding part. So these are all the definitions we can see here. Functions in the form of functions. This is the coding. Index page, okay, index page. This is the create page, edit page, update page. It will be going to the update page, delete. These are all the operations. Okay, this is the views.py. This is the views.py in the Django. You can see here views.py business logic. This is the business logic page. Okay, so this is the business logic page, views.py, and this is the template. Template is the front end part. Template. This template is the front end part. You can see here template. This is the front end part. Okay, views is the business logic, main business logic coding. We will be writing all these things. This is the coding we will be writing in the module. Views.py is the module, isn't it? In the module views.py module, we have written all the coding in the form of a functions. These are all the functions. Index is the function. You can see here, index is the function, create is the function, edit is the function, and update is the function, and delete is the function. These are all the functions we have written in the form of functions in the views.py code. So this is the front end, base.html, edit.html, and index.html. This is the front end code. You can see here front end HTML pages. If you click on this, it will be opened, HTML page, edit, and you can see here, if you click on this, you can see the browsers, which browsers it will be compatible. It will be compatible with the Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Opera, Internet Explorer, and this is the Edge. In these browsers, okay, these are all the browsers, isn't it? Browsers, it will be acting, it will be opened. Okay, these are all the HTML files in the template folder. You can see here, template folder, and views.py is the business logic. You can see here. Okay, so by seeing this diagram, you will understand views.py is the business logic. Okay, and model is the database where the values will be stored, and templates is the front end. Okay, I'm going to run this project. See here, I'm going to run this project. So for this, we need a database. This is the database, DB SQLite 3. So DB SQLite 3 is the database backend. I'm going to show you that DB SQLite 3, DB SQLite 3 browser. So this is the lightweight database. In the name itself, light, Lite. This is used for Android apps as well as the Django. For Django framework, it is the default. For Django framework, if I use the Django framework, using the Django framework, isn't it? It is using the Django framework. Django framework, if I use the Django framework, okay, it is dedicated to the Python. So in this framework, if I use this default, for this default database is default, it will be coming along with the Django framework. If I use the Django framework, default database is DB SQLite 3. This is the lightweight database. It can be operated in mobile phones also. So Android apps also, it will be using in Android apps also, DB SQLite 3 database. It will be used in Android apps also, DB SQLite 3 database. It will be used in Android apps. Okay. So this will be the default database. We can use this database instead of this database. We can use it as MySQL. MySQL database also we can use. MySQL database also we can use. We can use MySQL database also, but the default database is SQLite 3 for Django. Okay, so if you see here, where can I show the database? You can see that the database here, DB SQLite 3 database. Okay, so we are going to see the backend. This is the member is the class. Okay, OOPS concept it will be supporting, isn't it? Member is the class, table, first name and last name. We are taking first name and last name from the input and we are creating the table. Table will be stored. It will be stored in the backend. It will be stored in the backend database table. That is also table in the Facebook page. Login page is also table. What is the table? A table contains first name, last name, mobile number, okay, date of birth, password. This will be all included in the database, permanently stored in the database. Okay, I'm going to show this how to run this project. See here, Python manage.py. Okay, so if I run this program, this is the front end part. What is the CRUD operations? CRUD operations is create, read, update and delete. These are all the 4 operations, CRUD operations, that will be create, read, update and delete. First name and last name is the table we will be entering. It will be gone into the database. Okay, so CRUD operations, CRUD. So C stands for creating a create, that is creating a new account. Creating new account, for example. Okay, R means reading the values from the database, getting values from database. Okay, U means update. We are updating. If we want to update, we can update the values in the database. Update values in the database. Okay, so delete. D means deleting the value. If I don't want to account, I can delete. Delete my account. So these are the thing, CRUD operations. We will be doing CRUD operations here. Okay, so these are the CRUD operations we will be doing. CRUD operations. Okay, create an account, read an account, update an account, delete an account. So you can see here. In the database, in the database, we can see here in the Chrome. Okay, now I will be closing this. So first name I am entering. See here, and last name I am entering, and add means it will be created an account, it will be entered into the database. Add, if I click on add, what happened? It entered into the database. See here, my name entered into the database, and I want to edit, update. If I want to edit my name. Okay, so see here, I am editing my name. Update, it is editing. Update, see here, it is updated. And I want to delete my account. Delete, if I click on delete, it will be removed. So where all these values are stored, it will be stored in the database, permanently database. This is a business logic. This is the business logic for index page. Home page, it is indexing. Create page, this is the business logic. Create page, we have written the business logic in the form of a function. See here, it is getting the values from the first name and last name. It is getting the values and it is saving in the table. Member.save, it is saving. Okay, edit, see here, we are editing the members dot function. See the dictionary, data type. This is the dictionary data type, isn't it? This is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value, dictionary data type. We can see here, and it is displayed in the edit.html. See here, in the CRUD operations edit.html, it will be displayed. Okay, update, see here, from ID. Using the ID, it is updated and it is stored in the memory. It is stored permanently stored in the member.save database. Okay, and delete also it will be deleted. So we are going to see where it is saved in the database. Right click on the database, DB SQLite 3, copy absolute path. We need to copy this absolute path and we need to install this database DB SQLite 3. I will be showing you. I will be showing you how to install this. Okay, open the database. This is a lightweight database. Open database. I am pasting the path. Okay, and open. You can see the tables inside this. Okay, these are all the tables present inside the. It will be stored in the form of a tables. See here, if you see the member crude.member, you can see here. You can see here. Now I'm going to change the values in the front end. This is front end. Okay, so I'm entering some values. See here carefully. Carefully see here. Okay, I'm entering some value. First name and last name add. This is front end. This is front end. Okay, and this is business logic. Using business logic, add. See the add function. Create. That is create function. In the member table, it is saving. It is the member table. It is saving. It is taking first name and last name. It is saving in the member. Member is the table. First name and last. It is saving in the database. Now it is returning back. You can see the back end. If you refresh here, you can see the back end. Jessica and Marika. It is added. It is the database. This is the database. It is permanently stored in this. Like this, if we enter with a sign up form in the Facebook, first name, last name, email ID, date of birth, password, it will be saved, isn't it? Like this database, it will be saved. You can see the front end. Now you can see the front end. It is added. I want to add another name. Another name. Okay. So I am adding name, create, add. So it is added in the database. We can see in the database. This is front end. This is front end and this is back end database. We can see the values. Okay. It is stored in the permanently stored in the database. Okay. Using the business logic. This is the views.py is the business logic. Okay. Create. It is created. See here using this creator, it was saved in the members.py. So next operation, I want to do the next operation. Edit. I am editing here. Satya.Devarapalli. Okay. So for example, I have misspelled this. I want to edit. Okay. Now see the database. Now see the database. This is the original database. I'm changing now. I'm changing the value. I'm changing the value something. Okay. Something I'm changing. Update. See here, it is updated here in the front end. And you can see the back end database. It is also updated using the update command, using the update business logic here. Views.py using this function, update function. This is the business logic. This is the coding. This is updated and saved in the member.save. So what is this member.save? Models. Model is the member. You see here, this is the member table. It will be created. First name and last name. See here, first name and last name table will be created. It will be created. So if you see here, this is the backend, isn't it? So if you see here, model is the table. It is created backend. Model is the backend, and template is the front end. Views is the business logic. Template is the HTML files. Views is the, you can see here, template is the front end HTML files. Views is the coding part. Updated we have seen, and model is the backend part. Database, in this database what we have taken, first name and comma last name. We are taking two fields. Okay, you can see here first name and last name, isn't it? First name and last name we are taking. Okay, in the database model we have taken. Okay, now I am deleting this. Delete, it was removed. Okay, and now I'm going to show you in the database backend. It was deleted. So this is how it will be done. This is how it will be done. Okay. So this is a small project, crude operations you can see here. This is the front end part. Okay. And this is the business logic. Views.py is the business logic. Business logic where we have written all the code for the project. This is the coding for the project. And this is the backend part, database. Okay. Now you understood. I hope you understood. Okay. So in the views.py, we are having business logic. In the front end, we are having front end. Front end, we are having HTML files. What is the HTML files we are having here in this? So this is the index, Python CRUD operations. This is the HTML simple CRUD operations. This is the HTML file we are having. This is the HTML file we are having in the front end. This is the HTML file we are having in the front end. So what about the back end? So business logic. Business logic is views.py module. In the module we are having n number of functions. In the module we are having functions. Okay. What are the views.py? Views.py is the module, isn't it? It is a module. It is a module. It contains module. It contains a functions. What functions we are having here inside the functions? What functions we are having in the functions? I will show you. Okay. What are the functions we are having? Index. See here. Index, create, okay, edit, update and delete. See here, update and delete. What are the functions inside the coding? Index, okay, create, edit, update and delete. These are the functions inside the business logic. Are you getting me? So views.py is a module. It is a module, isn't it? In that we are having functions. What are the functions we are having in the? What are the functions inside the module? These are all the functions containing inside the module. These are all the functions contained inside the use.py is a module, isn't it? Okay, this is the business logic. And what about the database? Database, okay, database is SQLite 3. SQLite 3, that is member. Member is the database. Okay, this is the member. It contains first name and last name. Last name. It is stored in the database using the SQLite 3 database. This is database is nothing but a backend. Backend. It contains database contains SQLite 3 and it contains the member table. It contains the member is the table. In the table, in the form of tables, database will be the data stored in the database will be in the form of tables. I think you are aware of that. In the tables, it will be stored. Member is the table, first name and last name. See here. Okay. First name and last name. Are you getting me? Did you understand? Front end HTML files. HTML files, it contains the index.html, index.html and base.html and edit.html. I will show you where it is. This is the front end part. Okay. Base.html, edit.html, index.html. Where it is? In the template folder. In the template folder. Okay. In the template folder. This is the template folder, isn't it? In the template folder, we are having index.html, index.html, base.html, edit.html. In the template folder, we are having this. Okay. So these are all the front end belongs to the HTML files. Front end all belongs to the HTML files. Okay. Are you getting me? Front end, base, edit, index are the front end part templates. In the template folder we have seen here. Okay. And now business logic. Business logic, this is the business logic. Views.py is the business logic. Okay. So in this we are having the code, entire code. What is the code we are having? This is the module. Views.py is a module. In that we are having the functions. In the module we'll be having a functions. In the form of functions we'll be writing coding. Entire coding we'll be writing in the form of functions, isn't it? What are the functions? These are the functions I will be showing you. And these are all the functions. Okay. Index, create, edit, update and delete functions. Okay. In the views.py. Okay. In the project you can see here views.py. You can see all the functions. Index.html, create.html. Okay. This is the coding business logic. Update.html and delete.html. You can see the coding. Okay. So this is business logic middleware. Okay. Where it is? It is in the views.py. Here you can see the green color. Green color you can see views.py module. Okay. In that we will be having the business logic, and this is the backend. Model is the backend. Template is the front end. In the templates we will be having all the front end files, HTML files I showed you just now. And business logic views.py module will be having functions. Index, create, edit, update and delete functions. We have seen this. Here we have seen all these things. Okay. Now database, backend is nothing but a database. Database, this is the database. Okay. What is this? This is the database. This will be permanently, data will be stored here. In the database, the permanently data will be stored. Default Django, for Django framework, default will be the DB SQLite 3 database. Okay. So that will be DB SQLite 3 database for Django. Member is the table. The data in the database, it will be stored in the form of a table. In the form of a table, it will be stored. Okay. So that is the table. Member is the table. We can see here model. In the model. In the model, we can see the table. I will show you. Okay. It contains, table contains first name and last name. Only two things it contains. It contains only two things. Okay. What are these? First name and last name. It contains only table, contains first name and last name. You can see here. Okay. In the backend database, I'll be showing you. In the model, models.py. See here, models.py. Member is the table. Member is the table. Oops concept, it will be taking as a class and objects. Okay. Oops concept it will support, isn't it? This is the class. Okay. So this is the class. You can see here inheritance, class name, all these things it will be coming. Class definition. You can see here. Okay. And member is the table. First name and last name. See here. First name and last name are the fields. Just like we'll be entering first name, last name in the Facebook, isn't it? When we sign up, we will be entering all the details, isn't it? First name, last name, password, date of birth, email ID, all it will be asking when we create a new account for the Facebook account. Create a new account for the Facebook, isn't it? Like that it will be asking. So this is the thing. Okay. This is the table. Model.py. See here, model.py. This is the backend. Table will be created. Table will be created. See here, model.py is the gray color. In the model, you can see the gray color. That is backend database. Okay. So that is database. Backend is the database. That is default. SQLite 3 is the database. In that, member is the table name. It contains a table, contains first name and last name. And front end, we can see the first name and last name. We are using all the operations on the first name and last name. What are the operations we are doing here? CRUD operations. CRUD operations. What? Create. We are creating an account. reading an account data, update, and delete. We are deleting the account. Okay, these are all the 4 operations we are doing. So this is the front end. This is the front end. We are doing all the operations. Now I will be going to show you another one. So I am creating. Add means create. I am creating. Okay. Edit means update. I am updating. I am updating. Okay. Edit means I am updating. Delete means it will be deleted. So I will be showing this in the database also. Okay. So, okay, I am creating an account. See here, I am creating an account. Okay. See the table. Previously it was not there. This is the backend database. See here. Okay. And I am creating an account. Add. Haritha P is added. Okay. See the database backend. It is added. Okay. Isn't it? Now I am editing the P. Update. This is the front end. This is the back end. So it is updated in the back end. Okay. Now I am deleting this first name and last name. Front end it is removed. See in the back end. It is removed back end. Okay. How it is done? Using the use.py. These are all the functions we have written. Index page, create for create. We have written the function, edit, update, and delete. These are all the using the functions. It is going on using the functions. It is done. Okay. Now in models, this is the backend. Member is the table. It contains the first name and last name. It will be retrieving all the values from the keyboard. Okay. Understood? So these are all the databases it will support. Database. These are all the databases support in Python. Python, it will support all these databases. It will support all the databases. Okay. But the SQLite 3 is the default for Django, and we use the Django framework. Default Django framework, SQLite 3. But we can use the real time they will use this. If you want, I can give project in this. Okay, now see this. Now see this. I'm going to just give this folder. Okay, I'm going to share this folder. You need to see this. What is inside this? So I'm going to share this folder, okay, for you all. It contains all the things, how to do the DB SQLite 3 database connection. Open Google browser, search for DB SQLite 3. Okay, these are all the instructions you can do. You can do it yourself. DB SQLite 3 database, you need to browse this. Okay, you need to browse this in the Chrome, in the Google. You need to browse this. Okay, with this keyword you need to browse this. Okay, I'll be highlighting this. Now you will be getting this SQLite 3 browser. Download 64-bit or 32-bit. It is the diagram I have copied, and you can see the instructions how to install. I will be sharing this. It will be coming icon like this, DB SQLite 3 browser. It will be coming icon like this, and if you open, you have seen this, isn't it? If you open, you will be getting like this. So this is the icon. You can see the icon. It will be open like this. It will be open like this. I'm sharing this file. I'm sharing this file. It is containing the code also. Code explanation also it is containing. Code explanation also I have given. Okay, how to write the database, how to create, how to do all the things. Step by step coding also I have given. I'll be sharing this folder. Okay, now you will understand that. Now Now this is the project name I have given. In this I am going to share, I'm going to create new project. I mean I'm going to create the files. Okay, so first one, SQLite connection. See here. So we'll be having multiple files in a project, isn't it? It contains multiple modules in a project. I'm closing the database. Okay, see here carefully. I'm going to share this folder. Okay, yeah, see here carefully. Just 10 minutes we will finish. We will finish everything. Okay, so see here carefully. This is the SQLite connection. Import SQLite 3. Okay, package we need to import like this. We need to write the code like this. Sample.db. It will create a database sample.db. See here. Here in this we don't have sample.db. Sample.db we are not having here. if I just run this program, it will create a database sample.db. Okay, in this table will be created, login table will be created. In the table, text, password, user and password. Okay, user and password will be created in this table in the database. I am showing here the database, empty database I am showing here. This is the empty database, isn't it? I'm going to show here. Okay, sample.db, it will be created here. See here, it will be created in this path. Okay, now I'm going to run this program. Right click on this, run SQLite 3 connection. Okay, you can see the output, successfully created database. And here you can see the database here. Here you can see the database. Okay, so this is the plain database. We don't have anything here. We don't have any database here. Now we have created the database, isn't it? Sample.db. In the database, table is created, login table is created using the user and password is created. Fields are created inside the table. So I'm going to take this path here, copy absolute path. Okay, I'm going to paste in the open database and open. You can see the table, login table, it is created, username and password, browse data. In this, the login table is created in the database sample.db, username and password is created. Login table, in the login table, username and password is created. First one, okay, first program. Second one, see the second one. In the second program, I'm going to give values, AAA and 111 values to the login username and password. Second program. Okay, I'm going to run this program. So in that, okay, AAA and 111 is replaced. Okay, I'm going to refresh this database. See here, user is AAA, password is 111. It is inserted. Okay, second program, we are going to enter the value. First program, what we have done, we have just created a sample.db and login table. First one, we have created a database and login table. In the database, we have created a login table using the fields user and a password in the first program. Second program, we have created a, okay, in the login table, we have given a values, AAA and username is AAA and password is 111. We have given the values. Okay, and you can see the database. In the database, you can see here. You can see here. If you click on refresh, it was a AAA and 111. And the third program, see here, third program. So we will be taking as a x and y values. Whatever x values and y values will be given, that will be entered into the values. So I'm going to run this program. Run SQLite 3. So that values, xy values, whatever dynamically we have given, that is converted into string, and these are the flow data. What is this str? This is typecasting. Whatever we are giving, we are converting into typecasting, integer, string and integer. Okay, and those values, it is entered into the database. So we will check here, refresh, and you can see the xy values. Whatever xy values, we can change here anything. So I'm going to change here x value as strong, and y value some number. Okay, and saving the program. Again, I am saving the program and running this program. Right click on this, run SQLite 3. So if you see the database, refresh, xy value, whatever we have entered dynamically, it is inserted. And the last, okay, so dynamically we are entering. See here, typecasting, we are taking as an input, enter username and enter password. It is dynamically asking, it is asking for us. Okay, I am running this program, run, enter username. It is asking for the username from the keyboard. I'm entering the username, and password I am entering. Enter, successfully record inserted. Okay, so if I click on refresh, what will happen? it is entered. It is entered into the database backend. It is entered into the database backend. See here. Okay. So first program, in the first program, in this we are just creating a sample.db. See the flow. First program we have created a sample.db. In that we have created a login table. In the login table, user and password fields we have created. Second program, we have entered the values AAA and 111. Enter the values. Second program, we have entered the values AAA and 111. Okay. And third program, we have entered the dynamically XY values. Whatever XY values we will be entering, we need to write the code like this: %s and %c. %s is string, %d is a integer. We know that in the C we know that, isn't it? We'll be writing like this in the Python. Okay. And XY values, whatever we change, it will be entered in here. And the fourth one is dynamically we are taking from the keyboard. Dynamically, first name and last name. It is asking for the first name, okay, and password. It is asking for the password. Okay. Now it is dynamically taking from the keyboard. And the next thing what we are supposed to do, and next thing we need to create a front end HTML file. So we need to create a front end part like this. Okay. Like for example, Facebook sign in. So like this, we need to create a front end HTML page. In that we need to enter the values, whatever values we will be entering. Okay. So this is whatever values we will be entering from the front end. It will be going into the through business logic. So this is the business logic, isn't it? Coding through business logic, it will be going into the database backend. Here it will be coming. Okay. Understood, everybody? Is it clear? So this thing I will be sharing this. Okay. Crude operations project, and this SQLite 3 connections folder I will be sharing with you. Okay. Not only that, I will be sharing MySQL database project. Do you want all of this? So class is finished. This is the last class. I hope you have learned something at least. Okay. Any doubts? You can ask me. Any doubts you can ask me in the future. not in the group, to my personal WhatsApp number. To my personal WhatsApp number. Any doubts you can ask me. Okay. So all the best for you all. Okay. Bye. See you.